Good Tuesday morning. This is the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing. Due to our cooler, wetter weather recently, we have no significant impacts to speak of over the next couple of days. We'll look at precipitation over the past 24 hours. We had some wetting rains across parts of the Wasatch Range and into parts of eastern Idaho. The bright green you see is over an inch of rain locally. The darker blue shade is about a ½ inch to 3/4 of an inch. On the right-hand side, the only lightning was up in parts of eastern Idaho going into northwest Wyoming. So pretty quiet on the lightning front. New fire starts in the red. You can see a little bit right on the Arizona, Utah border and scattered about, all fairly small. Our larger incidents in the open purple circles and open yellow circles have been, activity has been greatly reduced to the cooler, more humid weather as well as some of the recent rain. So we go to that and our observed precipitation on the left over the past 7 days. In the bright green, areas have had a ½ inch to 3/4 of an inch. So you can see on the Grape Fire out here in right along the Utah-Idaho border, as well as across the higher terrain of much of central Idaho. Significant rains on the Pioneer Fire here. This lighter shade of rain of precipitation, a couple of hundredths of an inch, but very high humidity both day and night. And some of this showery activity extended into far northern Nevada on the 30-day cycle. That's where most of that precipitation occurred up north, but we still had significant rains earlier in the past month down in our southern areas. So with all that, taking a look at how it has impacted our fuels, our ERCs, which were in the 97th percentiles, we saw a lot of dark reds and purples up here, have all just nosedive down to typical autumn levels. So in the 50th and 60th percentile, this will not be bouncing back anytime soon. Even down south here, this will only gradually start drying out. So we have a thin belt here across our central areas where ERCs are still, they took a big hit, but they're still between the 70th and 80th, maybe some locally near 90th percentiles. So in this middle belt areas, 4 or 5 days of dry, hot weather would bring these back. It would take significantly more than that for our northern and southern areas. Looking at our satellite imagery, deep low pressure trough currently across the west, much cooler than normal. The clouds still rotating in here across parts of central Idaho. We have drier air punching in. So decent southwest wind gradient, but again, coming on the heels of some showers over the past couple of days. So looking at today's upper level map on the left, we have a trough of low pressure pushing across parts of Idaho with clouds, higher humidity, and some light precipitation in the north. That's going to keep things in the green in those areas. On the right hand side, and you see our dryness levels. Only places that are critically dry are portions of central Nevada at this point. The weather portion, humidity for today up north, you can see these greenish shades of humidity. 30% is as dry as it gets in a lot of those areas, and down into the closer to 10% across Nevada, a little bit higher across Utah. You can see here winds moderate from the west in most areas here in Nevada, a little stronger up here with that front, along with higher humidity in the north. On Wednesday, the moisture moves out. We're kind of in between high pressure off the Pacific coast and troughs of low pressure dropping down out of British Columbia. So we'll stay near seasonal or slightly cooler than normal. On the right-hand side, that means no significant change in our overall dryness levels. And then weather conditions, single-digit humidity across Nevada and parts of central Utah, again where our fuels remain most critical, but higher humidity to the north. And this drier humidity extends down to the Arizona border and southern Nevada, so some of those fuels start drying out as well. On the right-hand side, winds are fairly light. On Thursday, big high pressure builds along and off the west coast, but then we'll still see another weak trough of low pressure with less moisture but somewhat cooler temperatures brushing our northern areas. Drier air continues across the southern half of the Great Basin, and you can see not much change overall in our overall fire potential. Weather conditions on Thursday. You can see again near 10% humidity across central Nevada to central Utah, closer to 20-25% in our northern areas, and also down towards the Arizona Strip. Precipitation over the next 3 days, you can see just right along our northern areas, maybe a couple of hundredths of an inch. The monsoon stays to our south. Actually, southern areas, Arizona Strip and southern Utah, may be drying out more in this pattern than our northern areas. But on Friday, we do see drier air punching in here across much of the Great Basin, a gradual, slow response. Some of our dryness levels up here in the north, some of those southern areas of Idaho into the yellow category. As we go into Saturday, another trough comes through. Sunday, we start seeing a little bit of a trough low pressure carving out across the Pacific Northwest, and by Monday, this trough low pressure develops. This green here indicates more showers over northeast Nevada, northern Utah, maybe parts of Wyoming. So again, not much change, nothing critical in our northern or far southern areas. It's our central areas that could have some significant issues. And I shouldn't even say significant, just barely existent. Over the next 7 days, precipitation in that front. This could affect some of our central areas here. We'll have to wait and see on this. If we get with that front side precipitation over central Utah, that could put a lot of our ERCs down here to bed, leaving only Nevada as mostly critical. Monsoon stays well to the south. Extended outlook, cooler than normal to our east, warmer than normal to our west, so near normal. Temperature-wise, slightly drier than normal on the precipitation side. This concludes our briefing. Have a great day.